Welcome back to LeflerMotors, where on today's episode, we're working on the Junkbird. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Junkbird, that is my 1984 Pontiac Firebird that somebody swapped the motor out of a 79 Chevrolet truck, so it's 350 swapped Pontiac Firebird that I bought out of a junkyard for $300. Now, this is probably the absolute worst car that I've ever purchased, but since the last episode, I finally managed to get the rear hatch open and clean up a little bit. There's a bunch of trash in here still can't get rid of the ant problem. This thing actually had mice that it brought to my house, so that was fantastic. On the end of the last episode, the engine was seized on this, and I did myself a disservice by popping the driver's side valve cover off because it didn't really look too bad. Well, today I wanted to get in here and do a little off-camera work and get ready for, you know, the second video on this. I wanted to re-soak the engine with stuff to get it unseized, and so I popped off the passenger side, and I mean, it's just, somebody was building a house in there. There's like a cocoon. So, I mean, I figured I'd pop out the camera and do a little recording early. This episode, I'd like to get that engine unseized. If we can get it unseized, I'd like to get it to fire off. And if we can get that far with a reasonable amount of time, I would like to start getting this ready to be able to drive again for the first time in almost 30 years. Off camera, I've been putting in some more work and making the shop a shop in here, slowly getting my stuff moved in, some of the tools, and just junk for other projects. I absolutely had to just zip tie a fan to the ceiling in here because I don't know if you guys could tell, but I've only been in here a couple hours today, and it's like 100 degrees today, and Alabama, the humidity is insane, so it feels like 120 or something like that. I don't know, it's hot, so you know, we do what we got to do. But most of my working in here is going to be done at night until I can get, you know, like a window AC just put in the wall or something. I don't know. But the shop is slowly coming together. All right. Time to evict some engine bay guests. Like this, I don't know. Is this a chrysalis? Get out of here. Yeah, just pine straw, and I really should have done my due diligence and checked both sides, but I looked at the one side and I just assumed it was all right, and the motor was locked up anyway, so I really didn't care that much. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead. We are beyond my normal unseized engine of just put a little bit of transmission fluid in the cylinders and it'll be fixed overnight. So desperate measures. So I'm gonna go ahead and right in here just pour some diesel and let that soak down. I'm gonna do a little on the other side, but I'm gonna really focus heavily on that passenger side. I just kind of want it to soak, creep all the way down the engine, and you know, we'll drain the oil, and I'll probably run even more diesel down there a few times before we actually try and fire it up, and then it'll be quite a few oil changes if it even runs. Follow that up with a little bit of transmission fluid, just real cheap stuff, kind of slopping it all over the floor, but you know, we can't all be perfect. We can't all have clean floors. Clean floors means you're not doing your job. I've never understood that. I've worked in factories almost my entire life. And whenever we had somebody from corporate or a potential client come through, it was like, well, you guys need to shut your machines down for the next 12 hours, and then you're going to spend 12 hours mopping the floors. It's going to be spotless in here. And I'm like, you know, we're an aluminum foundry. It's probably better if it looks a little dirty like we've been working. But that's why I don't get paid the big bucks. I don't get paid to think. I feel like a spoiled rich kid because I got this desk in here now, like I'm some kind of like professional YouTube mechanic. I've just got tools kind of just thrown everywhere. It's a mess. Just ignore that. We're doing the old acetone and ATF, the usual blend, but we're gonna go a little heavy on the acetone this time. We're gonna do like a 1 part. We're gonna do like a 40-60 mix because I've already put too much transmission fluid for a 1 part, 2 part. Will you open? But yeah, you know, having a desk in here has got me kind of feeling fancy, and I got this little stool for 30 bucks on Harbor Freight, so you know, I feel like a real success story instead of just a guy using a desk he found for free in the shed behind the house he got and just mixing up junk in a bucket to pour in a junk car. It's all about the dream, or maybe the delusion. But look at this. A nice stir, a nice mix, not spilling it all over the paint on the car because I'm whipping it up on the hood. YouTube's changed me, guys. I let the $12 in ad revenue get to my head, and you know, money changed me. Watch out, next episode there'll be a lift in here. I don't think the ceilings are high enough, but you know, with YouTube success comes anything you can dream of. Maybe I'll be less delusional all the time when I have air conditioning in here and I'm not just having a heat stroke and I'm spilling it all over my fancy table. Alright, keeping with the theme of being a professional now, an automotive restoration expert or whatever, instead of just blindly trying to pour stuff, I like electrical tape this tube to the end of this funnel so I can actually get this down in the spark plug holes and not make as big of a mess. Chug, 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 chug. Oh, thirsty today, aren't we? Next cylinder. Ooh! Got a huge whiff of that. Woo! I don't know why, just pouring it in, I just inhaled so much of the fumes of that. That's like fresh breath. That's Listerine ain't got nothing on that. Wow. Get in there. Get out of my way for a second. Oh, no. Oh, I got it on the paint of the Cougar. Oh, no, 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 no. Hang on. Oh, if my wife saw that, that would be rip bozo, the end of the channel, the end of me. Oh, boy. Hey, you like that sticker? You can get that sticker at LeflerMerch.com. All right, there's the ad for the video. I want to get quite a bit of this in this rear hole back here because that's where all of our friends were living. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Can I reach my behemoth fingers over here? Get in the spark plug hole. Get in the spark plug hole. Get in the zone. O'Reilly's zone. That's how it goes, right? This last little bit I got, I'm just going to pour right into the valves. And I hope that soaks on down and not just all over the floor. And then, you know, because it made like 5 people mad on the last video, I'm just going to pour it down the intake too. Because rainwater, no, that's fine. But don't you dare pour a little acetone and ATF down the intake. Oh, you don't know what you're doing, bud. You're just... Why is that so bright? Alright, so now I just need to let all this soak for a couple of days. And work its magic, and then we're going to try and get that to spin over just a little bit. I already ordered a starter, so if we can get it to move a little bit, I'll probably run it over with the starter a few times to break any of that rust free. And I mean, if you're worried about the compression or the cylinders, just don't. Just that's not what we're doing today. But you know, I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek underneath the thing since I got it up, and you know, it's not terrible. It's pretty bad. The rear end actually looks pretty good. We've got exhaust just held up with like some baling wire or something. And it looks like people were trying to jack from over here because both of these corners are crushed in. And I don't know, the rockers aren't terrible. The bottoms of the doors are shot. The floors are, I mean, they're all there, but if I went to poking at them, they would not be. It's actually pretty bad for a southern car, but you northern guys would be drooling over this. It actually does have a transmission. I haven't gotten under there well enough to find out exactly what transmission it has, but I'll have to do that here soon anyways. Off camera, maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't in the last episode, the front passenger side wheel was stuck. And it was giving me a fight when I was trying to move it around on the trailer. So I ended up just having to remove the whole caliper. And this thing needs brakes all around. It needs a whole lot. Nothing's really changed on the interior. I still can't get it to come out of park over here, but I can play with that some more. I really haven't touched the car a whole lot since the last episode because I've just been, you know, jumping back and forth between different cars. I've had a lot of people that are newer to the channel kind of get upset that I'm not, you know, constantly putting out updates, you know, doing one car and then doing an update after it again and again and constantly working on the same car. Like I did the Firebird, and I've done a couple of videos since the original Firebird video, and I haven't touched the car since. And I've actually got a lot of people messaging me kind of upset that I haven't been messing with it. And I don't know if it's YouTube has this like expectation or what, but I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I work 14 hours a day, Monday through Friday. I work on these cars, you know, on the weekends when I'm free and when I don't have to spend it doing other things. So one, I kind of have to jump around to keep content fresh, and two, you know, if I got to shell out $1,000 worth of parts, that comes out of my pocket. That I don't make money off YouTube like that. You know, I make a couple of bucks, but you know, so these things do take time. And if you've been kind of upset that I'm not like constantly pushing out a video on a car, just remember that, you know, a lot of the projects that I try to knock out in a two week, you know, interval is something that the regular guy is spending 5 years letting it sit on jack stands, you know. So I'm doing what I can as far as keeping up with the cars, but we do have to be realistic. You know, if you want me to do bigger builds and churn things out faster, the best thing you could do is hit that subscribe button and tell your friends to also hit the subscribe button. So then, you know, I could afford to do stuff like the big YouTubers do. But as it is right now, I'm just a guy with a Firebird in a shed with electricity ran from an extension cord in my backyard, and a fan zip tied to the ceiling. I mean, do you see a sponsor in here? Because let me know if you do. But anyways, I don't want to ramble too long about that. I just, you know, people have been yapping about it. I got to let this sit for a couple days. And then when we get back to it, I'm going to at least get it broke free. If I can't, we're going to rip this engine apart and see exactly what's wrong with it. And I'm going to get another 350 to put in here because somebody already went through the work to throw a 350 in this Firebird. It makes no sense to what? Put the V6 back in it? No. We'll find another 350. There's a million of them in the junkyard. Well, I'm back in here today. It's been a few days that's been soaking, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip the crank bolt shenanigans, and I'm gonna get right to hitting the flywheel with a pry bar, because I mean, I'm just wasting mine and yours time if I even bother trying to go there. I need to get some actual leverage on this. I probably could have done myself a favor and jack this thing up a little bit more to get up under here, but should be fine. Kind of get a little something over here. Maybe not. Let's try. Jack stands are kind of in the worst possible spot for this. This is just I'm gonna try from the other side. Oh, there's a bunch of spiders on this side. That's good. And ants. Still love that. They've really thrown together the welds on this exhaust. Yeah, I can. There it is. Woo! I'm not getting anything out of it at all, no. Alright, let's move to the bigger. Let's get something a little bigger than that. I got a crowbar, I don't know if that'll fit up in here any better or what. If it'll fit in here. Oh. Oh. That does not want to budge. I know you guys can't see me on the camera, but man. Let's try from the other side again. Maybe I can get a little better grasp on it from this side with the bigger. No. Oh. Oh. That's stuck. That is, wow. Yeah, it would be a complete waste of time trying to turn it from the crank. Ah. This thing is fighting me. I don't know if I've probably edited out most of it, but that crank bolt is, or flywheel, this thing is locked up, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to get it unlocked up, but man, it is fighting me. I don't know what else to do aside from maybe I could weld something to the crank bolt or to the harmonic balancer, and you know, I don't know. There might not be a lot of hope for saving this one, but it ain't gonna stop me from trying. Let me think on this a little bit, and if nothing else, I'll go back to trying to brute force it until my arms hurt. All right, so I've been back at this for about 45 minutes, just going from each side, putting a little bit of pressure. I turned the camera back on because I don't know, I think I saw the slightest little bit of movement or maybe just flex, but if this thing turns, I want you guys seeing it. No. Well, I thought I saw some movement. I think it's just flexing. I've been trying to stay kind of persistent on this. I don't know if you can hear, I'm kind of out of breath. And it's not just because I'm fat, it's just, you know. Oh, I could have swore I saw a little bit of movement. Let me try hitting it from the other side again. I grabbed a different pry bar. I think this one's a little thicker. See if I can get it to go backwards any. They kind of did a horrible butch job booger welding this exhaust in place. I'm about to just cut it off. I'm gonna need to if I gotta pull this motor out anyways, so what's it hurting? Let's try just to get this little pry bar in here instead of the big old crowbar. I think I can get a little bit more close to the bell housing with this. Remember to wear your safety squints. First rule of automotive safety: have fun. Okay. Maybe I wasn't getting any movement at all. Maybe it was just my imagination. Delirious, delusional me. Give me all I got. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. I kind of put myself on like challenge mode, I feel like. Because I've kind of noticed a lot of YouTubers aren't buying the $300 car out of the junkyard. They're buying like the $1,500 car out of the junkyard. But that's like, where's the fun in that? This is the real experience, all right? This is the real deal. Down here, you know, you just get something that just gets gas in it and pops right off and you drive it 600 miles. That's just YouTuber junk. This is what you really deal with out in the real world. You buy a piece of junk boat anchor, not even a parts car, and then you try and get it running. Well, normally what most people would do, I think, is they would probably let this soak for another couple of weeks, but that doesn't get a video out in time for you guys. So I gotta get this motor running. Get your motor running. Hit it on the highway. We'll go back to trying to figure something else out. So here's my new plan, which may be a terrible plan, but I've got the pry bar just rested in one of the teeth up there. I don't know if I'm even picking that up. Yeah, it's over there. And I'm just gonna try and jack it up and get a little bit of hydraulic leverage and see if that does anything. I should probably have been looking at it. And put you guys down. Where can I put the light? All of the lights. Lower that back down just a little. Let's see here, let's see. If I can get it to move slightly, I will call that a success for right now. So we'll just line you up like that. I'm gonna get out of the face zone. You guys on the camera tell me if that's moving at all. I'll have to watch back the footage and see if that did anything. Definitely didn't make this any lighter or any easier to turn. I don't know. Screw it. Let's try it again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And you know what? You can take one look at me and tell I've never been the one to make the best decisions in the world. So we'll just be insane. That's fine. It's good for you every once in a while. Most brilliant people ever. We're also some of the most insane. I probably don't want to be looking at this, but I kind of need to know what's going on. So kind of want to just slightly over a little more. Let's just try and crank it. Is that turning at all? Or maybe if we just keep pressure on it for a little while, instead of just trying to brute force it, maybe if we just hold some pressure, it'll kind of stress out the rust holding it in place. Maybe I give it one more little pump. And maybe I just let it sit like that for about 20 minutes and then try and crank on it some more. If I actually had a welder and I had power out here to run it, I would just weld a piece of bar stock to the front of the harmonic balancer and try and get out here with as much leverage as possible and turn it from there. And I mean, if I broke the crank, I mean, what's the loss at this point? Oh boy. This is turning out to be a lot more of a project than I really thought it was gonna be. But you know, if you don't have any kind of challenge in life, that's not a life worth living. Too much of the anxiety and the depression and all the problems that people have this day, in this day and age, I think stems from the fact that we live too comfortable of a life and nobody kind of struggles for anything anymore. And you know, if you gotta think, I mean, you know, for all of human history, we've had to worry about what our next meal is, if we're gonna die from, you know, a simple illness. And you know, people don't really have to worry about things like that. And I think people just kind of, too much decadence is destroying society, I think. I don't know why I turned into a philosopher. I'm just trying to get a car to work. But yeah, Alright, I'm growing impatient. We're gonna see if this is making any difference. Let's see how many cranks until it pops off. I'm actually kind of surprised it's not popping right off. That was a new sound. Wait a minute. Has it moved? I can't tell, and I don't want to get too close while that's on there. Let me pump it over some more. Oh, come on. Did that actually work? I can't tell. I can't tell just by looking at it. I don't know, it still seems pretty stuck to me. can't tell if that moved at all. Let's get the jack back in the mix. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying because I want to be actually down here and seeing what's happening, but also don't want nothing to fly off into my face. I hope you guys can understand that. But I might hang out a little bit. Try and get back here. Take a peek at what's going on. It actually doesn't look like it's moving. Thought that was doing something. Still pumping it slowly. Doesn't even look like it's trying to move. The crowbar is moving, so is the crowbar bending, or... I still can't see because, you know, I've got the whole... I'm back here a little in the safe zone like a coward. I'm just gonna give it the business and see what that does. Well, that's the end of the jack. I don't think it's moved that one bit. No, the pry bar is just bent. Wow. All right. So it's safe to say that wasn't working at all. It's just bending my pry bar. So that's good. I've got another one somewhere. We could repeat the process. How are you so stuck? Well, now I've gotten curious, and I want to see if there's just a bunch of water in the bottom of the oil pan, being that the carb was open for so long. And if that's, you know, this whole engine's just full of water. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Oh, wow. That is oh boy. Yeah, okay. So there's some chunks in there. I don't even know what that smells like. It smells like rubber, and I don't know what causes that. But there were a ton of chunks in there. Nothing, I mean, I see some water in it, especially with what poured on the floor here. There's definitely a bunch of water in it, but I mean, it's not like the worst I've ever seen. Oh, hang on. I gotta show you guys this. I'm just now seeing this for the first time. You're just now telling me. Okay. Let's see if I can get y'all up in here. I haven't looked up in here yet. Look at all that. I don't know, can you see it? There is a mouse nest packed in the transmission back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's just rat nest galore in there. You can see more of the goop. You can see there's a bunch of water in it. And yeah, it's getting grosser by the second. Yeah, there's a ton of rat's nest in there. Oh, I think my hopes of getting this one started back up are getting more and more shattered by the minute. I just not even wanting to go back in there now because this little rubber. We can just leave that out for now. It can drain. Oh boy. Well, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think I don't think it's in the cards for saving this 350. I think it's just going to be a matter of going and finding another one. We get to go shopping! Hooray! And I already bought a bunch of parts for this one, so, you know, the next 350 will be better. But I think I'm at least curious. I want to tear this engine down and see just how bad it is. And then, like, this water pump I feel like is okay, so... Well, actually, it's got a bit more wobble than I would like, actually. It might not be all right. I don't know. We'll tear this apart, see what's savable, see how bad it is. Maybe I can get it to rotate when, you know, I pull the heads off and just beat on the pistons with a hammer. And then I could put it back together. Yeah! I could get head gaskets for it, and then it'll work no problem. Oh, good. So the thermostat's savable. That's good. That's what you like to see right off the bat. You think they were running water in this? I'm willing to bet. We can save some hose clamps, so, you know, we'll get our money's worth out of this. Yep. Luckily, I soaked the whole engine down with ATF and acetone and PB Blaster and all those goodies, so everything should hopefully come out of here pretty decently. Just gotta scrape the crud off the all the bolts. That's not gonna fit in there. Where did I put my ratchet when I was doing the oil change? The absolute worst about just setting tools randomly all over the place. Is that gonna fit in there? No. These cars were designed for wrenches. Good. I love using wrenches. Come on, you. Look, if you're gonna break, just break so I can move on to the next one. Tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Why do I own nothing but empty cans of brake clean? No, of course that one's just fantastic. Couldn't have asked for it to be any better, mate. I know. You're worn out. All right, since the back half of the intake bolts want to strip out, I think I'm going to switch gears for my sanity and see about getting this water pump off. I don't need an extension 5 miles long. Yep, go here. The ants are angry with me now. Don't you dare. Are you a different size? I don't know why you would. I guess that just doesn't fit in there. Do I have a thin walled 9/16? I've seen worse. I don't think this fuel pump was ever going to work again, and I can just rip that fuel line in half. I don't know. It's either go find somebody I can borrow a cutting wheel from, or pull the heads off with the intake, maybe? I don't even think I can do that. Maybe. Well, after about an hour of goofing off, jamming out to some like Midwest emo music from 2008, I was able to get all but the first one that gave me trouble to come out. That one's just completely stripped, so probably gonna have to cut that one off. Also, the distributor, I wasn't making any timing adjustments. This thing won't move, and it's junk. So I need to get it to move a little. There's somebody crying about this in the comments. Oh, starving kids in Africa could have eaten that distributor. I need to get it to where it can move. Or at least get out of here some way. I think it's turning. Maybe not. Let's try going the other way. There's nowhere really to get to it. Over here. Yeah, it'll turn like that. Just still won't turn by hand. Oh, just get out. You'll come out one way or another. I'm cutting the bolt off. I'm gonna beat the distributor out with a hammer, and then the intake will come off. Yippee! You know, I almost bought a brand new carburetor for this because I wasn't gonna be able to get one off Marketplace in time. I'm glad I decided against that, and my plan was just gonna be to spray something down the intake. I'm glad that I only spent a few $100s on parts for this. And for those crying, one of those parts was a new HEI distributor. Smoke break, even though I don't smoke. All right, on today's episode of spending more money than I can afford to spend, I got a bolt extractor set. So, and this really low profile ratchet. So I'm gonna hope that works. I feel like I spend every bit of my time and money at Harbor Freight. So hey, Harbor Freight, if you want to sponsor the channel, be my guest. We're going to see how that does. We're going to see how that ratchet there. Companies keep asking me to do tool reviews. So how about this as a preliminary tool review? This is the Pittsburgh low profile 3/8 and 1/4 inch drive ratchet. It's 2-in-1. Let's see how it handles a bolt extractor and a hammer. Ow. All right. Get back on there. Get back on there. Off to a swimming start. Fantastic. These are kind of like made for an impact to do the majority of the work, but you know, you can't really get an impact in it. Okay, plan B. As usual, all it does is rain in Alabama. Wow, that's not really gonna work either, is it? I'd like to try and save this intake, but to get a good angle on this, I kind of need to cut this off just a little. I doubt this will work, but I just kind of want to try something. I sent that socket into the stratosphere! Can I beat a ½ inch on there? No, I have to find that. I do not understand why every moment in Alabama it has to be raining. Also, fun fact, my roof leaks. That's great. So that's good. I'm glad that the roof leaks. All it does is rain, and now I gotta find that bolt extractor that I slung into outer space over here. I get you're not going to turn over, but I can't even take you apart. I kind of want to do something with this and make it move somehow. All right, I just sprayed this with more PB Blaster, and I'm just going to let it soak here some more before I try fiddling with it again. I might as well just go ahead and pull the rockers off and pull out the push rods and see if we got any that are bent. I thought that one was bent, but it's fine. I'm gonna grab a little box to put all this in. And some of you are probably in the comments saying, shouldn't you keep all those in order? Yeah, if you cared, but I really don't think it matters at this point. The door just slammed shut on me. Whoa! Ah! What on earth? This guy, if you couldn't tell, was massive. And this isn't a dead spider. This is a molt. So he got bigger than that. That scared that scared me quite a bit. On top of the thunder, I need to fix the roof leaks in here. It's raining really loud. I don't know if you can hear me or not. The roof leaks over here. The roof leaks over here. Basically, the whole back wall leaks. In Alabama is rain. Surprisingly, no bent push rods. I gotta do something about that. Why? I'm free. The bolt is free. Here's the solution that worked. The bolt extractor on a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter on a 1/4 inch little breaker bar with a jack handle And good luck. And now it turns just so slightly. I could actually get it out of here. I'm free. I can move on. I still have to get the distributor out, but I still have a hammer. Oh. I tell you what, buddy, I need to pack me a celebratory dip after that. And yes, sir. I spent way too long on this one bolt, and it's starting to act like it wants to fight me again. But we will get it out. If it takes another hour just to get it out, I've made some progress, and I've at least got it far enough to where I could cut the neck of the bolt off. Well, I don't necessarily want to do that anyways. Believe it or not, I actually want to save as many parts of this car as possible. As many parts of this engine, because, I don't know, we might get it apart, and it might be salvageable. It's not cost effective by any means, but, they're not making small block 350s anymore. So all the ones that exist are all the ones that'll ever exist. Even the worst of them, you should attempt to save what you can. You should do that with every car. I've never been big on, just like breaking stuff for the fun of it. Aside from that distributor, that was pent-up rage. And I already had another distributor. But, I think everything deserves a chance. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, oh, Ave Maria. Let's go, baby. Let's get the distributor out. Distributor removal is quite easy on a small block Chevy. Just goes straight up. Rust may be a factor. Yeah! Ah! Distributor removed. Only took a little bit of damage. Well, there's more of the distributor. Okay. How bad is this? Ugh. Oh. Yeah, you know what? Probably better that I didn't start it. Alright, let's take us a little look inside. You can see that is full of ATF acetone nest. That's full of nest. There's another one of those really nasty big old spider malts. Yeah, no, it was, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't looking too good. Looking from over here, I mean, it's, yeah. There's feathers in there. Something was making a bit of a nest. Let's get these heads off. And, I'm just gonna assume they won't give me any trouble at all. Correct? Yeah. Well, I'll be pleasantly surprised, guys. I was actually 100% intending on just taking a Sawzall and cutting the exhaust off. But all the bolts came out. I needed the extractor for one bolt. So, honestly, pretty good purchase. I paid like 20 bucks for the kit. I've used it twice, and I feel like I've gotten 20 bucks worth out of assistance out of it. Harbor Freight, please sponsor me. Let's see here. You know what? The right thing to do would be to pop them loose by hand. I'm just hitting them with the impact. I don't care anymore. It's just been an upper body workout for me all day, and you know what? I'll be honest, I've had enough of it. You know what? You know what? Maybe I'll do it right. Oh, breaker bar. Where are you? Hello, breaker bar. Ah, there you are. Oh, okay. I'll just break them loose with the breaker bar. And then I'll hit them with the impact. I'll do it the right way. There may be a chance to save this engine, guys. Leave a like on the video if you think I can save this. And it's not just a boat anchor. There's chunks of distributor everywhere. For some reason, I have no idea. Like, it's so weird, guys. Okay, now I'm comfortable hitting them all with the impact. Oh. If I don't do them in sequence, someone on the internet's gonna cry. I don't care. It's my video. If you don't like it, get off of here. I feel like I'm at the point I have nothing to lose in this car. Someone else in the comments has already thrown a fit that I'm throwing these bolts in the valley pan. In the valley. And to that I say, boo-hoo, where's your 350 that you're taking apart? Because it's full of spiders and feathers and doesn't move. Oh, yeah, that's good when there's feathers coming out on the threads. That's how you know it's good. All right, let's pop this head off, see what we're working with. What have I missed? Probably the bolt in the front. Duh. Oh no, the mating surfaces! It's like the distributor all over again. What did I miss? Oh, yeah. Those. All right, cut. Let's bring the real mechanic back in while I go sit in my lawn chair and drink iced tea. All right, now that the stunt double has finished up, the director said I could get back in here for the grand reveal. Now what? Did I miss one again? No. No, that'd be so silly. The director said, "What is on my camera? Get out of here. Get. Big, fly away." I forgot another bolt. It's been a long day, guys. I'm sorry. You know what? I ain't even gonna cut the camera. I'll just have the director edit it out in post. Can I even get this big hanka-wanka in there? Oh no, I'm getting dirt in there. Oh no, guys, I need the little one. No, you get the little one. If this bolt strips, I'm burning this car to the ground. I should have pulled the motor out and then did the disassembly, but you know, we're already here. I got this out anyways. Yep. Okay, now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. First, oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, hang on. Wow. Gotta bring you guys up close. Look at these pistons, baby. Oh. Let's get this out of here. That gasket actually looks pretty decent. Yeah, I'll reuse that. It's, you know, the bend in it makes the water more aerodynamic. Let's get this. This is gonna hurt if it slips out of my hands. I gotta set you guys down for a second. Oh yeah, what do you guys think of that? Looks like a murder on my floor. I love that as opposed to that good stuff. The valves are I mean, I've seen better, for sure. We'll just let that sit there and do that. Get in on these pistons. Look at that. Look at, oh man. Oh, look at that. Just dope. Alright, I have mega cancer now. And then that back corner, ow, I have an open wound on my hand. That hurts. Let me go wash my hands. Ow, that stings. Wow, I actually have a huge cut on my hand. What? Alright, now that I have about 8 infectious diseases and a brain-eating amoeba flowing through my bloodstream, I think it's time to stop playing. Let's get this other head off. And, yeah. Well, you guys may have noticed that went a lot easier than the other side, and there's a real good reason for that. I took the exhaust manifold off. Why didn't I do that on the other side, you ask? Well, one, I thought it would be a pain to do, and two, you're not really a man unless you've done something the hardest way possible, got frustrated about it, and had no one else to blame but yourself. There we go. Okay, let's see what we're working with. Yeah, let's just pour that everywhere. Well, nothing really got in this back cylinder. Bunch of crud in there still. Chunks of stuff in there. Yeah, that cylinder basically got no fluid in it, and I bet that's the one holding us up. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this ATF acetone out of the other cylinders and pop it in there. Alright, so here's the up close and personal on that driver's side bank. Those are gross. And there's pretty gross too. And yeah, that back piston, I'm pretty sure, is what was holding this up, because it was like no fluid got in there because it was completely full. And it wasn't really holding anything, so yeah, I figured it was up to the top, but I mean, it's up to the top. That's going to be a fight to get back down. The rest of these cylinders, I mean, they look rough, but they've all got fluid in them, so maybe we have a chance. I don't remember if I gave you guys the up close and personal over here. That's just gross on this side. And then the valves over here, well, you know, they're gross. But I think we're teared down enough, we could probably get it to start moving a little. You know, when I got this place, one of my biggest complaints was that there was a bunch of scrap wood everywhere. And I finally, just a couple weeks ago, burned it all. And you know what I could really use right now? It's like a little section of like 2x4, or just a little bit of a post or something. But I got this dead blow. I don't want to damage the pistons any more than they are by using metal, so, you know, try and see if I can knock them loose a little bit with this. I'm going to start with the ones that are up top. Probably not that one, because that one's in the back corner. I'm going to come over to this side right here. Just wail on it a little bit. See if I can get it to go down some. See, the trick with the wood is you put a piece of block down here and you bang all the cylinders with an actual like small sledgehammer. I've actually like busted the rubber out of this one. That's fantastic. Let's try hitting this one in the back a little. Oh, what can I hit? What can I hit? I'm gonna have to get a new dead blow. I'll be back. All right, let this be a lesson for you guys. Never throw anything away ever. Because I had to drive halfway across town to get a piece of wood to sit in this here hole. But let's see if we can get some movement out of it. I actually think we did. Maybe. Let's try the other side. There's nowhere really good to put this. If I had a smaller sledge, that would be optimal. But I don't, so that's what we're working with. See if I can get one good. I want to move it around a little. Let's try. Yeah, that's really not great. All right, we're just gonna have to focus this hole, I guess. I don't think the dead blow's got enough meat to really. Woo! Yeah, no, the dead blow doesn't have enough meat. So, come back over to this side. Try and push this piston down just a little more. Get a good whack on it. We'll just have to whack and reset. Not really a good spot to get at this from. Oh! Well, about ripped my finger off. Ah, man. Yeah, that's that's probably gonna need stitches. Okay, so that's probably where I'm gonna have to call that. I have really screwed up my hand there. I got caught in between the hammer and that lip right there on the core support, and it's pretty bad, but we made a lot of progress. I was really hoping to get this engine unstuck, but you guys tell me what's the next step. Are we gonna source a new 350, or should I pull this one out and maybe send it to a machine shop and like have this one actually built? Because, you know, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. It's a almost 50-year-old Chevrolet motor. It's, in my mind, might be worth trying to save. Either way, it's going to kind of be a long-term project. I'm either going to have to send it off the machine shop and wait 4 years for them to get done with what they're doing, or I'm going to have to save up and try and source myself another 350, probably another transmission, and then get back to, you know, square one like I wanted to be here today. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that's I'm gonna call it there. My hand hurts. I don't want to be a little baby about it, but it hurts really bad. So thank you guys for watching, and consider leaving a like or subscribing. Do the hype thing if you're on a phone. I think it only works if you're on phones. And next video we'll probably work on something that doesn't involve a sledgehammer. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.